Today's question is, who is an example of a celebrity or a public figure who dresses well with a longer torso? So if you're somebody who takes a look at your proportions and identifies your torso as a little bit longer in comparison to your legs, then what you're dealing with visually is that sometimes you run the risk of looking like you have short legs and a very long torso. And shorter legs would be the more primary concern, because a longer torso usually isn't necessarily on its own a bad thing. A lot of models have really long torsos because then they have that well-defined waist that seems to go on forever. And so a longer torso on its own isn't usually a problem when it comes to clothing. It's the shorter leg look. It doesn't necessarily mean your legs are short. You are the way you are. Celebrate it, deal with it, love it. It is what it is. There's no changing something like that with proportions. So just embrace it and be happy with it. You've got a long torso, that's a good thing. But it does run the risk of looking like you have short legs. I get it. Somebody who has a slightly long torso is Catherine, Princess of Wales. She definitely looks like she has a long torso. As you can see, that waistline seems to be well defined for several inches for quite some time. For us short gals, that's like impossible to get. If you have a well-defined waist, it's only for a little while because you only have so much room to work with. But there's other ladies who also deal with this. Olivia Wilde is one who looks to have a longer torso that can then make her legs, in comparison, look a little shorter. This is the opposite problem to what Meghan Markle has. She has a very short torso and long, lanky limbs that then look more exaggerated. The short torso, long legs, body proportion has opposite concerns and style needs to the long torso, short leg proportion. As I said, neither is better than the other or right or wrong, and I'm not saying long torso, short leg in a bad way at all. I just want to make that clear. It's just a style concern to address. Some other examples of celebrities who have this similar proportion would be Jessica Alba, Rachel Bilson, Britney Spears, Lucy Liu, and of course, Catherine, Princess of Wales. So one of the ways to combat it is to wear high-rise trousers, high-rise jeans, anything high-rise, because you can afford that real estate in the torso to have those higher rise, even rib cage, where they come up really, really high. It won't throw you off balance. It'll make your legs look longer. The main thing you want to think of, the tagline is elongate the legs. Just do whatever you can to make the legs look longer and it will be fine. It'll all work out. And if you are lucky enough to have at least a somewhat well-defined waist or a relatively straight torso, then you can get away with some high-rise giant man pants. This is the crowd that can wear GMPs and get away with it. They can deal with a little bit of pleating and a little bit of extra fabric in the lower torso because they have that length where it doesn't look frumpy on them. It just lays nicely and it looks great. Here is an example. It works for them. It doesn't work as well if you have a short torso, like at all. You can also draw the eye to the legs in other ways, not just by adding fabric and length, but through color. You can also enhance the vertical line of your torso by choosing tops that have buttons down the front or vertical lines down the front. Empire waists are a nice way to just blend over that longer torso. However, going for things that are incredibly low rise are the exact opposite of what you should do. You should definitely stay away from low rise mini skirts and micro skirts or low rise jeans or things that add a lot of width and are low rise to the lower body, because that's just going to enhance the shortness, maybe even look a little stubby on you. Another thing you can do to sort of elongate the leg is to wear high heels or platforms. Even if you don't want to wear heels, a lot of tennis shoes, sneakers, sandals, even loafers have platform options, and boots, of course. So wearing things that have a bit of a heel or a platform is going to add a little bit of height to your leg and elongate it. Also, avoiding ankle straps, that will help to elongate the leg. Some people go for nude shoes. They look a little bit dated right now just based on how popular they were a while back, but anything you can do to elongate the leg is going to really help bring balance. Another advantage that people who have longer torsos and lean towards slightly shorter legs have, an advantage they have is, like I said, that real estate of their torso. So they can go for belts or crop tops or things that are going to sort of create a horizontal line across the torso to sort of chop it up a little bit. It will create more balance visually. Out of these ladies who have pretty noticeable longer torsos, which again, not a bad thing at all, I would say Britney Spears tends to lean into it a little bit too much. She doesn't balance her proportions as well as she could, but Jessica Alba is usually really, really good about it, and Olivia Wilde as well. In fact, you oftentimes wouldn't even, if you just looked at their red carpet catalog, you wouldn't notice that they have a longer torso. But if you really look at their body, then you can see that proportion play out. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your questions, and I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.